Ah!
What?
Ah! What the fuck?
Give me some more sticks.
Wonderful night.
What the? No, no, no!
Wait.
I would like 2 chicken breasts, please.
What the fuck?
So. Wait, that's an issue to so. Whoa. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my way!
Oh yeah, we should say so in that part instead.
Ah, yeah. Get the. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Hey. Get out of my boat. Whoa! Okay, never mind. What is that guy doing in the back? Royalty is here. No. Don't do that in front of me. I'm gonna get so pissed off. Rock and roll,
Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll.
Come over here, everybody.
Roll, rock.
Look over there.
What's up here?
Look over there. Look over there.
Hey.
Look over there. Look over there. The kids went to see a movie and got ran over. Oh, what the
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm coming down.
Hey, come
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
That's so fast.
Come over here.
He's gonna make a mess. He's gonna make a mess.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna make a mess.
You know pirates, they're always late.
Perfect 2-point landing.
Rock and roll, 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 rock and roll. Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock, yeah,
baby, I'm on a roll, rock and roll on a rope, rock and roll, yeah, rock and roll, rock and roll.
There.
What the fuck? I take pride in my work.
Time to shut the skulls.
Do you want to see my telescope?
This is not a telescope.
Has anybody seen my telescope?
Why did you destroy our boat? Boat! Boat!
It's a hard job, but someone's gotta do it.
Anybody says. Tired of you two. Is that really all you see me as? A piece of meat?
Did someone say meat? Meat?
Let's break up.
Meat?
I
Meat?
love you. You haven't.
Wow!
Meat?
I don't feel loved. Do you know?
Meat?
Do you know what I think you are?
Meat?
I think you're a whore. You're a whore.
Oh,
No one's gonna call me that. Not on my boat. Damn it.
Meat?
Where are my shoes?
Meat? 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 Meat?